Welcome back to my channel. My name is Keandra. If you are new here, hello and welcome. Today's video, I will be sharing with you 10 essential tools and things that you will need if you are transitioning from relaxed to natural hair. I narrowed it down to 10. These are all items that I believe will be useful for you. They helped me during my transition journey, and most of the items, if not all of them, I still use now. We can kind of call this video the transitioning starter kit video. I will also be doing a giveaway on my Instagram with most of these items, if not all of them. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do that at _naturallykey to find out about details on that giveaway. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first tool that you'll need is a wide tooth comb or a detangler. This is going to be a necessary tool if you are wearing your hair in protective styles like braids or twist outs, because you're going to have to take your braids down and you cannot use a rat tail comb to take your hair down. You'll also need a wide tooth comb with detangling period, as well as working your conditioner throughout your hair. So I'm going to show you what I use, and I've had most of these since I've transitioned. This is the Weedad, I think it's a double detangler. So this is like, look at my hand, this thing is huge. This is something that I use still now in the shower. This is very heavy. It's like, this is heavy. I use this in the shower to detangle my hair as water is running through my hair. So I'll put my conditioner on my hair, and when it's time to take it out, I start with the bottom and I just work the comb up my hair, but it's always under running water. So this is a really good detangler. If you have thick hair already, this will be a good one. I will link this below. Another one is just like a basic wide tooth comb. It's something that you can use to detangle your hair. The goal is to keep your hair in styles where you don't have to do much manipulation to your hair, but if you have to, you cannot use a tiny comb, a small rat tail, or combs that have like the fine brushes. The last one I have is this Denman brush. I mean, everyone knows about the Denman brush. I use it sometimes. I use this one more when I am twisting my hair. So I don't use it that often to detangle, but it does work pretty good. So if I'm twisting my hair and I'm putting product and things like that in it, I tend to go in just to smooth my hair out. But this is a really good tool to have. This is actually, I think this is the regular size, but I also have this in, it's a black one. All of it is black, but it's a wider one. So if you have thick hair, there's actually one that is a little bigger than this one that you can use, or this basic one is really good as well. The next tool that you will need if you are transitioning is a pick. Just a basic pick. And I didn't have this when I was transitioning, only because I wore my hair in wigs and weaves. If you have not seen my video, I will link it in this one. But since I'm fully natural, I use this. Well, actually, I take that back. I wore a curly wig in the summertime, and I did use this to pick a wig. So depending on how you're transitioning, you're gonna need this, especially if you're doing the bantu knots and your twist outs. You're gonna want to pick it out because your hair has two different textures. Some areas will look thicker than others. Like your roots will be much thicker than your ends, because that's the relaxed portion of your hair, of course. So this is really good just to make your hair much more fuller. And again, you will need this once you're fully natural. I use it sometimes. I very seldom use this in the summertime because I live where it's very hot and humid and my hair just fluffs up on its own. But typically I'll use it in the winter time if it's those times where I want my hair to be a little bigger, which is not that often because, as you can see, my hair is huge. Next essential item, clips. I have a ton of clips. They don't necessarily have to look like this. I have banana clips. I have these types of clips. The clips that you may want to stay away from are the ones that have that little ridging inside of it. Now this one is okay. This one is not too bad, but you have like the banana clip that has these going all the way through it. So those you may want to be careful with, especially if you're transitioning. For now, I would say go with something similar to this. If you can find clamps that don't have as many of these on them, then that will be perfect. But you're going to need clips because you're working with your hair in sections. I will actually link the clips in the description box that will be best for transitioning hair, as well as natural hair that do not have the ridging on it but still holds your hair in place. But clips are definitely an essential tool if you are transitioning and once you're natural. Next essential items would be silk and satin bonnets and scarves. Depending on how your hair is styled is what you'll need. If you're wearing your twist outs or your bantu knots, then of course you may need a bonnet. There are also bonnets depending on the length and the thickness of your hair. There are extra large bonnets. I have a few of those right now that I use. Obviously you're gonna need a bonnet still when you're fully natural, but you'll also need a scarf if you are wearing braids or to protect your hair at night. You're gonna want a scarf. And also if you want to lay your edges down, if you're wearing a style that requires you to lay your edges down, you'll need a scarf for that. They have many variations of scarves now. They have the scarves that go just around your edges. I will link all of that below in the description box, but you want to have a satin or silk bonnet as well as a satin or a silk scarf. Next essential item, conditioners. A deep conditioner and a leave-in conditioner. You will need both. You would have to follow up with a leave-in every time that you shampoo your hair. I'll leave some below that I think are really good, but preferably you want to find a natural conditioner and a leave-in, but ultimately you want to find what works for your hair. I'll also link my conditioners video of the conditioners that I personally like. The next essential tool is a spray bottle. You will need a spray bottle for multiple things, just depending on your hair. If you are, just say, taking down your braids, if you have like your hair braided to the scalp for a wig or a weave, if you're taking down those braids, you cannot take them down on dry hair. When I had my wigs and weaves and I took down my braids, I would spray my hair first with water. Sometimes I had oil and I believe it was aloe vera mixed in that water. But I would spray my hair as well as even a conditioner sometimes just to loosen it up because I did not want to rip my hair. I didn't want to break my hair because it was dry. So a spray bottle you'll need in taking down your braids, but also you need a spray bottle if you're working in sections, if you're twisting out your hair, if you're wearing the bantu knot. So a spray bottle is also something that you'll need once you are fully natural. I use a spray bottle probably every other night. It's how I refresh my hair. I always put water in it. Sometimes I change the mixture. This is just water, but sometimes I have an oil. I believe it's jojoba oil, I think. And sometimes I'll add aloe vera juice in it. But most times I just use plain water. So I got this from Sally's. If you are going to get a spray bottle now, in order to prevent you from having to get a new one when you're natural, I would say try and get one that has this mist spray. Like some spray bottles are really, they're like water hose, and you want to get a spray bottle that has like a mist so it's not drenching your hair. So I'll show you what this looks like. See? Just a mist. So this would be a good one. I'll link it below, but obviously any spray bottle will do at this point, but this is one that you would definitely want once you're fully natural. The next essential item is edge control. Now, depending upon your texture of hair, you may or may not need it, but I did use edge control when I was transitioning. So that is something that is up to you. I would say get it, but it is also something that you're gonna need once you're fully natural. So the one that I use is by Eben. It's the 24-hour edge gel. I have thick, very coarse hair. Even my hairline is thick, so that's like the only thing that works for me, but I will link it below. The next essential item that you'll need is a moisturizer. And I know it may sound like a lot of things that you have to put on your hair, like the leave-in and the moisturizer, but something that you have to keep in mind that with relaxed hair, I know for me, I did not want oily hair. Like I did not put a ton of oil in my hair. I would just put things in my hair for shine. But when you're going to natural hair, and especially when you're transitioning, your hair wants moisture. That's the difference from relaxed hair and natural hair. Your natural and transitioning hair, in this case, will live and grow based on the moisture that is put into it. So you want a good moisturizer. I can link below what I use. Next essential item, scrunchies. I would try, if at all possible, to stay away from a lot of the, of course, rubber bands. I would not do rubber bands. and even some of the scrunchie, the rubber, I don't even know the name of the material, but those have like that glue that holds it together that can snug your hair. I would even be mindful of those. There are some scrunchies that don't have like this, you know, 90s feel. They're like much thinner, so I would maybe find those. But also, if you are sectioning your hair and styling your hair, this is also good to use instead of a rubber band, instead of those scrunchies, because it is satin. It will not tug on your hair, it will not snug your hair, so these are good to have, and you will need these once you are completely natural. Okay, the next essential item that you will need with transitioning is an oil. Something that you have to get in the habit of doing now, even with transitioning, is to make sure that you're consistently oiling your hair. And what that does is seal the moisture, especially for the hair that is growing in, and that line of demarcation that's really, really fragile. You want to make sure that that hair is moisturized at all times. So obviously you're not going to just moisturize one portion of your hair, so you obviously have to do that with your relaxed hair. But oils seal the moisture in your hair. So if you're deep conditioning your hair, if you're putting a leave-in in your hair, if you're putting a moisturizer in your hair, and you put an oil in your hair, that seals the moisture. Now you'll have to maybe play with it to see how the oil responds to your hair, because some people have to put the oil in first before they put the moisturizer in. So it just depends, but you're gonna need an oil. I use an oil when I transition pretty often. I oil my scalp a lot, and it just depends. I switch up with oils. I think I was using like a jojoba oil. I believe I was using argan oil, and maybe coconut oil. Coconut oil is also good to use for other things, like if you want to get into making a deep conditioner. So I would suggest the coconut oil, because you can do some other things with it, but you will definitely need some form of oil, whether it's a sealant or to oil your scalp. But okay, that is it. Those are the items that I believe are very essential if you're transitioning from relaxed to natural hair. I will link everything below where you can find some of these things, but when it comes down to the products, keep in mind that you just want to find what works for your hair. Now, I will be doing a giveaway, a transitioning starter kit giveaway. So again, if you're not following me on Instagram, please be sure to do that. And I will leave some of the details in the description box below. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you thought it was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Be sure to turn on the notification bell so that you are aware when I post new videos as well as giveaways. Thank you guys again, and I will see you in my next video.